What's up, everybody? Erock the Red here, bringing you the first ever episode of Bring the Boom, the AEW Wrestling review and recap brought to you by Pop Culture Playground. Every week, we're going to be here talking AEW Dynamite, giving you my take, talking about rankings, talking about what's coming up, everything. I got shit tons of notes, and I'm ready to get into it. So let's do it. We start off like we do every week on AEW Dynamite with a big match. We're talking Kenny Omega kicking things off against Matt Sydal. Now, this came from an episode of AEW Dark Elevation where Omega was talking shit to Sydal. Tony Khan made this match. Now, if Sydal wins, he gets a shot at the title. Omega comes out with Don Callis, and I thought it was funny. At one point, Excalibur's, they're talking about classless, and Excalibur's like, speaking of classless, Don Callis is joining us. Excalibur, he just adds that extra little something that we all love. But Kenny Omega wrestled in Japan, not North Carolina. And he also hasn't lost a singles match in 571 days. So, I really, I didn't expect him to lose tonight against Matt Sydal. Now, granted, Sydal looked awesome in this match. It was by far his best match in AEW. He got his shit in. He got a ton of beautiful looking reversals. The flow between Omega and Sydal looked great. Sydal, dude, was selling amazingly. Like Dolph Ziggler levels of just selling, just flopping all around. And then there were some really cool spots too. At one point, a Meteora was countered by Kenny Omega into a dope buckle bomb. One Wing Angel was countered into a victory roll by Sydal. Almost a 3. It was like close. It was like as close to a 3 as could be possible. And then after that, Omega gets the win with the One Winged Angel. But great match. Like I said, definitely Sydal's best match in AEW. I'm not super familiar with his work outside of AEW. I've seen a few of his matches here and there, but this was definitely one of the best. If not, no, this was the best. This was the best friggin' match that I've seen Sydal have. So that was really good. But like we said, no one expected Sydal to win it. But then we go to the meat man, Johnny Hungy, John Silver. He's in the back and he's prepping for his match against Darby Allin, practicing against coffin drops. Hilarious shit. Hangman's back there hanging out. Hangman's got a match up next against Cesar Bononi with Cesar Bononi's really sexy mustache. Yeah, I don't know what this match was. I guess, getting Bononi some work, but he got put down pretty quick. These dudes were beating the shit out of each other early on. It was a lot of just punching, a lot of elbows, and it was over pretty quick. Hangman gets the buckshot lariat pretty early and celebrates with a couple of page wisers. Next up, we got another promo. We go to Murder Hawk Monster Lance Archer. He's sitting down. His jeans are just disintegrating. I don't know what's happening to his jeans. If someone pulled a thread and they're slowly coming unraveled, but I feel like every single time we see him, there's less and less jean there. This time it was just straight up leg and then a couple strands of jeans everywhere. But I'm no clothing guy, but that's not how jeans are supposed to be. Anyways, he calls Sting out, which, whatever. He's got the bat. He calls Sting out. We'll see where that goes. That's pretty much all we got. They show a little package. Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker from last week. Again, I'm still loving that match. I watched it twice last week. The second time was as good as the first. Britt Baker comes out with a dope shirt on. It's got the picture of, here, take a look at it. They gotta put the fucking belt on Britt Baker. Just her promo work is just top notch. She said at one point, It took Mick Foley 20 years to become a hardcore legend, and she did it in one night. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And then she said that she put AEW on the map. Now, she did get AEW a ton of buzz with that match. Now, not just her and Thunder Rosa, but man, I'm telling you, after the match and after these promos that she's friggin' killing, give her a title shot, please. Next up, we got another promo. We got Christian Cage. He's in the back chilling with the Varsity Blondes and Dante Martin, giving them some pointers. He's got his shirt on. Outwork everyone. You know, I feel like right now this is just a way for Christian Cage to sell T-shirts, because that's all we see is just him in his stupid shirt. And then Cranky Frankie Kazarian comes over and starts giving him shit about, you know, I don't know, just setting up a match for next week. It was funny at one point, Dasha's just like, she's trying to ask questions and she just bounces the fuck out of there. She's like, all right, I'm over this. So next week we got a match. We got Christian Cage versus Frankie Kazarian. I'm excited to see Cage get back in the ring and see what he can do. Very excited about this one, you know, but we'll see. Hopefully everything goes well. Next up, we've got the Pinnacle coming out to a brand new theme and entrance package. I'm going to miss that weird MJF song, if you could call it a song with the weird sounds. But this one, it looked really cool. Just, you know, a lot of dudes in suits. Who doesn't love dudes in suits, right? The match is Shawn Spears and FTR versus the Varsity Blondes and Dante Martin. This match was fine. You know, it was some good work by FTR. Shawn Spears was there. But it's setting up, you know, for big things from Pinnacle. You know, it was, like I said, it was an okay match. Shawn Spears ended up getting the win with C4 over Dante Martin. So I would like to see more of what they can do together. So far I'm liking the Pinnacle. And already, so after that, Wardlow hits Pillman with that knee where he sets him up on the top turnbuckle and drops him down on his knee. Love that fucking move. Such a good move. And then a big promo by both the dudes from FTR and MJF. And it got me picturing all of them having belts. And now that's all I want. I want FTR to have the tag belts, give MJF the heavyweight title, and give, I don't know, I guess give Spears the TNT title. Maybe give Wardlow. I would love to see Wardlow do something. But I love when a faction has like all the belts and everybody's just gunning for them. And we also got this sweet thing from MJF. When you're in the Pinnacle, you're always on top. You hear that, ladies? Don't get any ideas. Another promo. We go to Team Taz. Basically, Team Taz is doing fine. No dissension. You know, tell that to Cage, who did not look like he believed it, and he adds his big moment.
Who better?
Next up, the segment that nobody gives a shit about. QT Marshall wants an exhibition match with Cody. I'm not going to go in any more about it. Who knows? They're going to have a match next week. Who gives a shit? Next up, Lucha Bros with Laredo Kid versus the Young Bucks with Brandon Cutler. Now, I guess Pac is injured. They said he'll be out for a few weeks. So they brought in Laredo Kid. And instead of bringing Kenny for a rematch from Fyter Fest, they go to Brandon Cutler. This was an awesome match, as you would expect it to be. Lot of high-flying spots from everyone. Even Brandon Cutler was springboarding off the ropes fucking like crazy. The dude hits that thing where he jumps up on the ropes and springboards off him. He's good at that. It's very fluid for such a big dude. and the ropes were getting a workout, man. Everybody was jumping off them. There were so many springboards in this match. I loved it. I thought this was already so the Omega Seidel match was great. Very well worked match. This match, dude, was so fast paced, so much action. It was almost like a lucha libre match with no tags, but they still worked in tags. So it was just a very well worked match, well choreographed. I loved all the high spots. Laredo Kid ends up pinning Brandon with the Spanish fly off the top rope. Looked beautiful. Everything about this match was awesome. Keep Laredo Kid in AEW. Dude he looks beautiful when he's out there. After the match, we get Kenny Omega comes out, attacks the Lucha Bros and the Laredo Kid, and starts babbling about Fyter Fest and how they didn't choose him and family and all this bullshit. And he gives an ultimatum to the Young Bucks. He's like, "Too sweet me, or you're out." So they're out. They bounce. They turn their back on him, and the Lucha Bros super kick the shit out of Kenny. Bust his mouth up, give him the package pile driver finish, and the Good Brothers come out and carry him to the back. So don't know that I love AEW is so good at doing this, where they set up a bunch of different things at once. So they're setting up shit with the Young Bucks, with the Lucha Bros, just everything. They're very good at this. You never know which way they could go, and they can go anyway with their story. I love that they have so many options. After that, we see taped promo by Jade Cargill. She's calling out Red Velvet again. So, there's more of that, I guess. And then we see we get to see the third hour of AEW on TNT. And it is a Miz and Mrs. knockoff with Cody and Brandy. Roads to the top. I'm going to watch it. Whatever. I don't want to watch it. I'm going to watch it. Of course I'm going to fucking watch it. It looks fine. TNT is going all in on Cody. Good for him. He's on 160 of their programs. They got to get rid of John Cena on the Wipeout show. Put Cody in there then, too. Or put Cena and Cody in there. Setting up a huge match at WrestlePalooza. Next up, we got another promo by Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. I don't care that we're seeing these every week and nothing new is happening. I just want to watch more of this. Just all the time. Just keep giving it to me. I don't really care. Eddie's like, I got a broken something. I love that. You would think that if you had something broken, you would know what it was. But, Eddie, he don't give a fuck. And Moxley is pissed. He's saying that the Good Brothers, are they willing to go as far as them, get the blood under their fingernails? And then he basically calls out the Young Bucks, saying, like, I don't know you, I don't like you, but, if you're in this, let's do this. So, more of that. I love the tag team of Kingston and Moxley. I want more of that. And we'll see where this goes. Obviously with Good Brothers, but Good Brothers again, I'm talking about the AEW and all the stories. Good Brothers and the Young Bucks are going. So good stuff, man. I'm telling you, super excited. Next up, we got Ty Conti versus Nyla Rose. When Ty Conti first came to AEW, I was not very impressed by her. As of late, after her matches on Elevation and all the dark matches, she's won me over. She's like one of my favorites now. And she, on top of that, she looks like a Brazilian Disney princess. Her giant eyes, her tiny little head. I love it. She looks great. Her moves are awesome. She ended up beating Nyla Rose in a great match. She won with that hammerlock spiked DDT. It looked great. Nyla sold that thing so beautifully. Love to see it. And after that, Nyla starts beating on Ty. Sheeta came out with her kendo stick, started beating on Nyla, and then the bunny came out and attacked Sheeta, and she attacked Ty Conti. It was a whole thing, and then what they're calling the Hardy Family Office now, the HFO. I don't know who came up with this idea. They came out and they stood there. Well, this all happened. So, I don't know. It was, I don't know where they're going with this. We do get more on it towards the end of the night, but we'll see. Next up, we got a promo from Best Friends and Miro and Kip Sabian talking about the Arcade Anarchy match coming up next week. Another promo, the face of the revolution, Scorpio Sky, trying to make us give a shit about him. So far, it's not working really on me, but maybe his match on Dark Elevation against Mike Seidel will change my mind. All right, and next up, what we're all waiting for, the Meat Man, John Silver versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship. Holy shit, what an awesome match, dude. I knew it was going to be a great match just because of what these two guys can do in the ring. I didn't expect it to be as great as it was. I was hoping, like, we haven't had a surprise title change in a long time. So I was hoping that this was it. My boy, Johnny Hungy, John Silver, is due, man. He's been crushing it lately. And how amazing is it that he's main eventing on Dynamite? That, you know, one half of the Beaver Boys from a few years ago is now main eventing for a title on AEW Dynamite. I love to see it. JR keeps calling Darby wiry. He's wiry. I'm going to say he's wiry. JR, man, he's losing it every week. And you love to see it. I mean, you hate to see it, but it makes for some interesting comments. But the surprising thing about this match, John Silver was in control for a huge portion of it. He was tossing, and it was the perfect match for him because he was able to show his strength, and his size didn't really affect his chances. He was tossing Darby all over the place, and he controlled, like I said, so much of the match that it was really just Darby trying to find some momentum where he could. It helped that the Dark Order was out there. At one point, Darby was going to do it was like a tope suicida, and ended up Alan Angels pushed Silver out of the way and took the hit for him. That's what it prompted Sting to come out with his baseball bat and just kind of stare everybody down. So, you know, that was cool. In the ring, both Darby and I don't know at what point they decided they were just going to slap the shit out of each other, which then it happened. So they're just slapping each other, open palm slaps, just blasting each other in the faces. And looks like we're going to get a coffin drop, and Darby hits the coffin drop out of the ring onto the Dark Order. That was super cool to watch. And then back in the ring, we got John Silver going for the Brody Lee power bomb. He does the thing, and it gets countered into a code red. Darby gets the pin. So yeah, like I said, this was an awesome match. Really, it was John Silver's way. He proved himself here. He proved that he can carry a match. Now, obviously, he can't do this with everybody. Darby was the perfect opponent for him in this match, just based on size and what moves they could do. But yeah, it was definitely a fun match, and at a few points, I really thought that we were getting a new champion. So it had me going. Loved it. Overall, this episode of Dynamite, every week I say this. Every week I say, wow, they did it again. Now, it wasn't as good as last week, because last week had a match of the year contender in that Thunder Rosa Britt Baker match. But this one overall, the Kenny Omega Matt Sydal match was very well done. It was a lot of fun. The 6-man tag match with the Lucha Bros, Laredo Kid, Young Bucks, and Brandon Cutler was awesome. Tons of fun, tons of action. And then the main event, Silver versus Allen, was such a ride. Like, it was very, very well done. It wasn't overly done, overly scripted. I loved it. It was one of my favorite matches in recent memory. And it told an awesome story. So definitely a big fan of that. Next week, we've got a great lineup of matches. They keep putting them together, man. They just keep adding awesome matches every week. We've got Hikaru Shida and Ty Conti versus The Bunny and Nyla Rose. Christian Cage in his AEW debut versus Frankie Kazarian. Cody Rhodes versus QT Marshall in this exhibition match. Arn Anderson is the guest referee. I don't know what this is. I wish they would just stop it. And Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers versus the Lucha Bros and the Laredo Kid. So he's back. I got my wish, I guess. He's sticking around. And the Arcade Anarchy match. I hope that's the last match that we get between the Best Friends and Miro and Kip Sabian. I'm so over this whole program. I want Miro to move on, and I think we're gonna get a split between them, just because he's been pushing this new character where he's just really focused on winning, and hopefully that means he's gonna push the video games to the side, because it sucks. Like, the whole video game thing, it's not interesting. So kill that right now, because it's gone on way too long. The Butler thing sucks. Just everything about this sucks. I just want them just move on. All right, let's take a look at our newly announced rankings. Let's start with the men's division. We've got Kenny Omega and Darby Allin still as the champions, both of them undefeated. And then number 1, we have Pac. Number 2, Hangman Adam Page. 3, Cody Rhodes. 4, Jon Moxley. And 5, Rey Fenix. So as far as things go on tonight's episode, not much has changed in the title picture. We'll see if Darby Allin continues to do these open challenges for the title. But yeah, none of the top 5 are in a program for either of the belts. So nothing really does anything there. Next up in the women's division, we've still got Hikaru Shida as our champion, 2-0, and Ty Conti has moved into the number 1 spot, sitting there at 8-2. She's been busy. Look at that, 10 matches. She jumped over Red Velvet, who is 5-0. Got Nyla Rose, 5-1. We'll see where that changes now that Conti just defeated her. We got Ryo Mizunami at 5-1, and then Dr. Britt Baker at 4-1. Hoping to get Britt Baker up there. We'll see how things change. I know Mizunami had a match on Dark. I don't know if that's figured into the rankings, and Rose just had her loss. So we'll see what's going on with Red Velvet. She's still doing the Jade Cargill thing. But we got to get Britt Baker back up there into the title picture. I'm a super big Britt Baker stan now, as the kids say, right? They say that. And then lastly, in our tag team rankings, still got the Young Bucks as tag champs. 2-0 is their tag record. And then still at number 1, and eventually we're going to get into this match. I don't know when. SCU 8-0. They are undefeated, and they still are claiming that if they lose a tag team match, they will break up. We'll see where that's going. Next up, we have Jurassic Express 4-0. The Dark Order, Silver and Reynolds 4-0. FTR 2-0. and Death Triangle 1-0. But we know Pac is out for a little bit, so obviously nothing going on there. We didn't have Jurassic Express on the show at all this week, so, we'll see. Right now, it looks like the Young Bucks are still tied up with the Good Brothers, Kenny Omega, and the Lucha Bros. We'll see what happens in that picture. But, yeah, right now, not much is going on within the rankings there. FTR's doing the Pinnacle thing. I'm not certain if they're going to continue to have the 6-man matches or what the plan is for them. But, who knows? I really feel like you can't just have SCU sitting at the top of this for too long without giving them that title shot. And, do you give them the belt? Do you break them up? I really don't know. I don't know how much Christopher Daniels has left in the tank. But I guess time will tell. They've been looking good lately in the matches that they have had. So it would be interesting to give them one last title shot, but I don't know. I think that would be a good way to transition into someone else getting the belts. I don't see SCU holding the belts and carrying them and running the tag division. But who knows? I'm just some asshole shooting the shit over here. But we'll see. That's the show for tonight. Amazing Dynamite as usual. This is the first episode. Bring the boom, baby. We're doing it every single week, and I'm super excited to start talking wrestling with you guys. So please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Follow us on Twitter, Pop Culture PG, Pop Culture Playground on Instagram. We're everywhere. We're doing it. We're making it happen. All things pop culture, not just wrestling. We're doing video games, TV, movies. Please check us out. Like us, follow us, subscribe to the YouTube, do it all, because I love you, and I love talking about this shit with you guys, so let's keep it going. Thanks. We'll talk to you next week.